Welcome back to the EJ Sports Podcast. It's your host, Eagle, my boy Jay here.
Hey.
And today we're going to be talking about AEW Revolution. We're going to be doing a preview on AEW Revolution, the biggest things that came out of AEW Revolution. And of course, we're going to be talking about the road to WrestleMania on Monday, March 16. Happy Austin 316 Day. Shout out to all of you guys for that. And we're going to be talking about the major things happening that basically happened on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Basically, all the big things. We're not going to go through everything on AEW Revolution. In my opinion, a lot of the stuff was a lot of cannon fodder. None of it really was important. But we'll start off with the first thing. Místico wins his first championship. It is the Trios belt. Místico is a champion, and he's officially all elite. We actually saw him the day before in San Jose in an indie show. But Jay, I really want to know your opinion. What do you feel like Místico's sort of plan, or what he's going to be at AEW or in the position in AEW? And what do you think of him finally winning his first title in AEW?
Congratulations that he won the title. What they're going to do is that he is signed with AEW, but he is going to be mostly in Mexico with the other promotion. He's going to be going back and forth. Whenever Tony Khan needs Místico, he will go to AEW. If not, he will be wrestling in Mexico. That's why a lot of people go to AEW just because they have the opportunity to do both. Or even 3 companies or other indie shows without any restrictions.
I agree. I feel like he's going to be like Máscara Dorada, if you know what I mean. Like, sort of, he's going to be someone who could be enhance the talent, enhance the matches in AEW, but also with that partnership with CMLL. I feel like it's a great thing. I'll be honest with you, seeing Místico out there, seeing the people of Los Angeles accept him, pop for him, sing his song. I don't know if you saw that, singing his song. Beautiful. Such a beautiful thing. Next thing, and I feel like we should talk about this, and I feel like it's a big thing. Jay. Moxley wins, but of course, something big happens. What is the big thing? Will Ospreay returns. Will Ospreay returns to attack Moxley. Is this a big thing for AEW? Finally having some of your injured stars coming back, actually being able to create storylines, attacking Moxley, attacking basically everyone from the Death Riders. What do you think of now Moxley and Ospreay possibly having a feud and just basically Will Ospreay coming back? What do you think about that?
The main reason why Ospreay attacked Mox is just because last year in London, in All In, I think it was, after the match, the Death Riders attacked Ospreay by himself in the cage, and he was already. That was basically his last match because he was gonna go to do his neck surgery. And storyline, they needed to get rid of him, and that's why he could go for his neck surgery. And that's why Ospreay went to attack Moxley at the end of Takesha against Moxley. For me, they're going to be wrestling. They're going to face each other at Vegas. And Ospreay will win the title there.
I 100% agree. This is great for AEW having Will Ospreay back. Basically, just being a huge linchpin, especially for the title scene. Even though great wrestling, like always, is going to be with Moxley, and basically, I feel like it's a great news. Great thing. Will Ospreay's back. Thank you, and thank God, basically. And if the next surgery was as bad as people were suggesting at first, seeing him back in the ring, beautiful. The next thing, FTR beats the Young Bucks. But the main thing is that Cope and Christian return and are looking to go for the tag team belts. Brother, do you think this is too much? Do you think this is great news? In my opinion, do you think this will be a good thing for AEW having Cope and Christian back as a tag team to go after the tag team belts?
For me, it's not too much. It's perfect because Edge and Christian, actually not Edge,
Cope.
Cope and Christian needs their revenge against FTR, and they're gonna face each other in the future, and they're gonna Cope and Christian are gonna win the titles, and then later on, their first feud will be against the Young Bucks, and that match will be insane.
I agree. You know, a part of me feels like, bro, they looking too old to be doing this.
Look old, but at the same time, when they wrestled, when they last time wrestled, they were still going at it. They still have a little bit of their speed. They're not that slow like CM Punk.
Well, I'll be honest. Like when I think of Cope and Christian, especially in AEW, I just think of how they ruined having that slow ass match for the world title. That is still in my brain. That's the reason why when I think about it, I'm like, bro, you're not. You are probably 10 to 20 years too late to be good in the ring still to the level which we know they should be. But again, obviously, having a like wrestlers out there like FTR, they're probably gonna carry them in this match. You know, still be professional. It won't be as exciting and as in ring proficient like the Young Bucks, but I feel like it'll still be great. One thing we're gonna talk about, and I know you have very much heavy opinions on this. You know, you know my stance as well, and we'll share this for the rest of the people of the pod. Is Ronda Rousey all elite because she comes out to face Tony Storm? And Tony Khan, I'm talking to you now. Do you know how desperate WWE was for ratings, bringing back Ronda Rousey? You know how horrible she was? If AEW sign Ronda Rousey, it'll confirm to me that you guys are as desperate and possibly as dumb as WWE. You don't need Ronda Rousey. You don't need her. Make her have a couple appearances, but don't get her in the ring. Jay, what's your opinion?
The good part is that she's not signed. And for me, I feel like probably it was a one appearance thing that she wanted to do just for the money, I think. And I don't think she's going to be signed because she's going to have a match for the in UFC in I think May.
Not UFC, just a random promotion. This is against Gina Carano. It's two former MMA stars back in the early days of women's MMA when basically anybody could have been a somebody. Both of them are not good fighters. They were good at their day, but not currently. And this is a cash grab fight that they're having. And that's the thing where I'm concerned. If it's truly money based and Tony Khan throws the bag, she's going to be all elite.
But I feel like she's not going to be all elite. Probably she will just be there only whenever it's like marquee like matches of the Death Riders when they need help. I think she will be there. If not, she's not going to be signed or nothing.
Well, who knows? Because clearly she has her ways of getting onto these wrestling promotions. Even though she slandered the business, she said she had her worst time. Wrestling is fake. Nobody should be doing this. Like she slandered the business so much. Why would you still want to be in business with this woman? It's beyond me. But we'll go to the main event. What a main event. when I think about dumb indie wrestling, dumb indie hardcore wrestling, where anything happens that you're just putting your body in the line, I think of this. And when I say dumb indie wrestling, I mean it in a good way. I love this match. This is what I want from WWE. This is what I love about AEW. And I don't know if you guys realize in the pod where I used to slander AEW. I'm now coming to AEW and being more of an AEW fan because this is what I like. This is what I like about Tony Khan. I don't care what it is. You guys want to have blood? You guys want to have glass? You want to do have light tubes? You guys want to do all of this? Sure. Why not? Because this match was one of the best matches, just one of the best matches with a storyline in place. MJF, you are good enough in your respective, section. I don't see you as like an elite technical wrestler. You're nowhere near an AJ Styles. But in ring chemistry, your in ring chemistry and psychology is up there with the Miz. This was great. Obviously, hats off to the cowboy. Also did his thing. Obviously, death matches are his specialty. For me, what really sold how impactful this match can be was towards the end when the blood was on the camera lens and that's all you saw on your TV, on your screen, was just a smear of blood. Jay, what do you think? 'Cause I know you have a lot of things to say about this match.
Well, smear of blood, that's just smear of I'm not going to, I cannot go for the title anymore because he promised himself if he loses, he will not go for the AEW championship anymore. Well, it depends if he turns heel and says screw it, but for now it's that. Let's see if he keeps his promise, even if he turns heel. Oh no, the match was crazy. Um, the best part, there is a lot of good parts, but I kind of like the way that Hangman stapled the the paper saying happy birthday.
Yep. Happy birthday.
That was so crazy. And then the fans wanted fire when he told a few fans gave me a lighter and they didn't have a lighter.
See, I feel like they should have anticipated that the fans would want fire, and that would have actually made this, in my opinion, a 5-star classic if they actually would have lit the table on fire. I don't know. I just feel like the people chanting fire. I feel like the only way knowing that that wasn't part of the match was Hangman saying, "If anybody has a lighter, bring it over." You know what I mean? But of course, Jay, continue because I know you have a lot to
Well,
say.
probably they were not planning to do a fire spot. That's why there wasn't any fire.
100%, they probably weren't.
But that would be cool if there was fire on the table. No, not just that. The bar wire.
Yeah.
That was when they wanted the fire.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I know I'm gonna be like, they're probably calling me a mark or something for this, but shout out to Maven because he taught me the differences between barbed wire and how it could hurt and not really hurt, and you could tell because the heavy barbed wire, you could tell that one cut instantly, but the thin barbed wire they were using at the beginning, I could tell there was nothing with that, and I could tell they bladed. It was a blade job. Sadly, it's sad to say it, but it was a blade job. It wasn't because of the barbed wire. But that's just me being me.
Another good part was that at the end when they went through the table over there next to the stage, the way that Hangman was treating MJF like a dog, that was epic.
Yeah. Now I told you this. Once I saw them, they basically put it on their collar, the chain. I'm like, bro, one way or another, someone's gonna be dragged like a dog. And it's funny to see, but again, like they didn't tease anything that they didn't deliver at the end. If you know what I mean. Throughout the match, they were close to falling at one point, but they didn't do it. But they made sure to come back and do it. Putting people through tables, stuff like that, the barbed wire, you know, everything was set up perfectly. But again, is it worth it? this is now coming as a human perspective towards wrestling. Do these matches still are they still worth it, or do they still should be happening, knowing the possible consequences in the future? All the blood that was lost, all the cuts, everything, especially, back in the day where painkillers was such a big thing. Are these matches still worth it? Or are you saying, like, what, if they agree to it, why not?
If they do it once or twice a year, it's worth it.
This is not happening, I guess, once or twice a year, but like this is just in the big companies. We're talking about also like companies like CCW, which are based on extreme wrestling, where this is happening weekly.
It depends if it depends on the wrestler if they want to or not. But once or twice a year, it doesn't hurt.
Well, it does
Just to
hurt, but
well, for them, yes, but for us, no.
that's true.
They just they want they just want to give a spectacle to the fans.
I guess giving color is a thing. If people don't know what giving color is, it's just mean blading and having blood.
And this is something that Triple H, Triple Fraud, wants to do. No, cannot
No,
do.
he's doing it recently.
Well, yeah, but
Because look, if you think
they just trying to keep it more PG because they know that if they don't keep it PG, they will lose the kids,
But-
and they want the kids. And here's another thing: Triple H, Triple Fraud wants cinema. Cinema. Come on, Triple H.
no,
Watch on AEW, and you will find your cinema.
no, I agree, and this is the thing where but people don't understand. Out of all people, Triple H should understand. The reason why you blew up in the '90s is you cater towards the teenagers that will soon be adults. That is what AEW is doing now. They're catering to the teenagers that will soon be adults. Then they will build an audience. Yes, they're trying to cut down the blood. They're trying to cut down the swearing. But that's the difference between a company that used to be owned by a guy to now owned by a corporation, which are full of stockholders and shareholders and all that stuff. The good thing about Tony Khan is that he's a billionaire. He could fund it by himself if he needs to, and he's able to afford that. And people who are buying into his company know this is happening. WWE did that back in the '90s and are afraid to go back, and will probably never go back because the people who own WWE and own the UFC hate free speech. They hate that there possibly is a section of the fans, and it's probably the majority, that want a freer wrestling range of wrestling. And they're not going to get that with WWE because they've already solidified their style thanks to Vince McMahon going to the PG era. If Vince never went PG, this would probably never happen. And speaking about WWE and their PG ways that they're, and it's the weird thing that they always teeter between PG and non PG. Their top stars, which they'll never punish, will never go fully PG now, but the rest of the people have to. Because we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw happening on March 16th. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, they come out, they have this sort of confrontation, but Paul Heyman calls out his big gun, the boy Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar goes into the ring and is about to confront Seth Rollins when Oba Femi goes in and destroys Brock Lesnar to be the official match happening at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. He goes in, destroys, and points to the WrestleMania sign, stating, "I'm your next opponent." Jay, what do you think of this segment? What do you think of the match that is now confirmed? Brock versus Oba Femi. And what does Seth Rollins do now? Who does Seth Rollins face against now?
Okay, the segment was decent. Paul Heyman, good actor. Seth Rollins, you need to work more, man. You make every segment kind of boring.
He's getting back to the old Seth, like the visionary Seth, the Seth that we like. He's going back to it slowly, but
But still
you
boring.
could tell he's being held back. But you could tell he's going back there slowly. He's slowly going back to the old Seth that we all love and respect, not this corny, crappy Seth that clearly is still acting as if he's somebody. But Jay, continue.
Still boring. Brock Lesnar over Femi saved the segment. Thank God it wasn't LA Knight against Brock Lesnar. This one will be a good match only if Brock will actually put over Oba. If he doesn't, Brock Lesnar, why you don't just put over a young talent that's right now popping? And his retirement match might be in SummerSlam against Gunther, and Gunther might submit Brock Lesnar.
We're talking about this like as a SummerSlam match at for his retirement. Clearly, it is something that could happen, and I feel like when it comes to this segment, like I said, it is decent. Seth is still being held back, and it's obvious. I just hope and pray that Seth goes back to his old ways and leaves this weird character. And this is also talking about another thing we're going to talk about later, but we're trending the right direction. I'm hoping that Braun Breaker is back healthy to have Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. But speaking about why we think Seth Rollins is cringe, we're going into the Intercontinental match between AJ Lee and Bailey. The match was decent, probably not the best match. Bailey can't really do anything when AJ Lee isn't the best worker. But Becky Lynch attacks AJ Lee. Why are we doing this match again? Why? Why? I get it. You need to have Becky Lynch there. Becky Lynch is the Triple H person. But who cares? Honestly, you have so much better talent like Asuka, like Kairi Sane, like Lyra Valkyria. You have so much better talent out there who could actually deliver, but then you have some random person and Becky Lynch who people are now tired of, and you're still pushing them. Like Jay, what do you think, man? Like, should they leave it? Like, should they stop or they? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, tell me, what do you think, man?
They should stop already. They should just leave Becky Lynch already out of this title spot. Well, AJ Lee has the title, but away from every title, she should do something else. If not, just retire already, because you're just ruining the young talent of women that should be fighting for that Intercontinental Women's Championship. And it's gonna be a boring match at WrestleMania. I'm not gonna watch it.
100%. That oh, this is me being honest with you. That might be one of the matches I'm going to be skipping for the simple fact,
Bathroom break.
not to the extent of that, but what I mean by that, it's going to be the exact same thing as an elimination chamber. There's nothing new going to happen in that match. I don't expect new. The only thing I would expect, it would be funny if Paige were to come out.
We already know that AJ Lee is gonna lose the title and Becky Lynch is gonna win it again. It's normal. Boring.
It's the thing that people don't understand that WWE is just going around in circles. They're going around in circles and circles. They don't know what they're doing. Next thing, um, El Grande Americano versus the original El Grande Americano. Um, why did they do it on a random Monday Night Raw? Like, you know what I mean?
Just because they don't probably they didn't have enough matches to fill in during tonight's Raw. And with that, I feel like they're gonna have a match at WrestleMania to see who is the original, the real Grande Americano.
See, if WWE and TKO and Triple H are smart, they would they would have done Elimination Chamber Grande versus Grande. Kaiser Grande wins. And then at WrestleMania, the original Grande wins. And then Mask versus Mask and Triple Mania and have Kaiser win. Because for all the people that didn't see Rey de Reyes for Triple A, Ludwig Kaiser Grande is over. He is way over than people are giving him credit in the US. And with finally having Chad Gable out of the mask, he could finally continue his journey and have Kaiser do this journey because he's clearly connected with the fans in Mexico who should really be above the fans in the US because this is more of a Mexico thing than an America thing. And if you got rid of Kaiser, then you lose Pete Dunne and the whoever's under the Los Americanos. But I feel like that's the way it should be. Again, this match was mid. Clearly, they could do way better, but it should be a PLE match. Next thing we'll be talking about Penta versus Dragon Lee, clearly showcasing what Dragon Lee and Penta could do. Some of the best luchadors in the world, clearly showing off their skills, putting on a banger. Jay, quickly, what do you think of the match? In my opinion, it was like a five-star match.
Good match, and they should uh they should have a feud, both of them, for the title at WrestleMania. And if they want to, they could just add Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio for that title. A fatal four way, that would
Or a
be
ladder
nice.
match. Or a ladder
Or
match.
to add a few more jobbers for this title, sure. Like Kobe Kingston, he's a jobber.
Javon Evans would be great in this matchup. I'll be honest
Mr.
with Javon.
Mr. Jabon could be a good one too. I agree. I agree. And yeah, the rest of the jobbers could enter the ladder match, and it will be a great match if they actually put everything all together correctly. As Triple Fraud always mess ups at the end. Hopefully, he does it well this time around. Let's see what happens.
I 100% agree. Either whatever type of matchup or a triple threat, fatal four-way ladder match, just let them actually wrestle. It'd be great. Next thing, we're actually going towards the main event. OG Bloodline is back? Is the OG Bloodline back? Because it looks like Roman Reigns and the Usos have joined forces again. And in my opinion, we're back at it again. Oh, why? Why couldn't it just be a regular thing? Why? You realize how boring the Usos have been recently and how much they've held back the tag team division because you're not putting them in this meaningless thing, putting them with Roman. I don't understand what's going on. And like this is the thing where like I feel like we're spoiled with AEW promos because they have some of the best compelling, especially MJF. If CM Punk and MJF are supposed to be in the same bracket, why are they saying the same thing? Why is CM Punk and Roman Reigns saying the same thing over and over and over? I just feel like, and this is the thing where I saw some people being mad in the comments lately, me saying that Roman Reigns isn't good at promos, that he's very compelling. No, he's saying the exact same thing over and over again. And you're really telling me, out of all the things that were said, old? The word old was the one that set CM Punk off? Really? If people were to notice, and he said it himself, he knows he's old. Why is that the word that sets him off? Why not your wife? Why not the other words he was saying?
Why not whitewash?
Why not whitewash? Why not like why not this is my yard now? Why have we regressed to 2016 Roman Reigns still acting like he's the big dog? And he said it himself. Roman said, "CM Punk, you've never been with someone as accomplished as me, brother." One of the biggest feuds that CM Punk has ever had in his life is against John Cena. and The Undertaker and Randy Orton and Edge. Like, we're going to talking about Brock Lesnar. You're not as a good or accomplished as you think you are. If it wasn't for Vince McMahon, you would clearly be stuck in purgatory. Alright, guys, thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast episode. I know it's been a long episode. We kind of wanted to recap all the things that are going on. Thank you guys so much for the likes, comments, subscribe. Please tell us what you guys think of this road to WrestleMania and AEW Revolution. Should we do more AEW content? Who knows? We should tell us all of it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much, and goodbye.